Hello guys, gals, and everyone in between. Welcome to the Ferryman's trial. Death is searching for a successor. To claim his mantle, you must judge the souls of the dead during a surprisingly short, strange, and unsettling job interview where every choice shapes the fate of humanity, including your own. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, this looked really interesting, and I like the style of it. And yeah. Something's weird is going on with Steam. So, usually if you click new releases on Steam, you have new releases and you have popular new releases. Well now, if you switch from popular to new releases, the tab does nothing. And if you scroll to the bottom, it's still nothing. Like it's still, you can only click popular new releases. And that's making indie devs not able to really shine out. Now, if you go to all products, then you can sort by release date and then go on to horror and you can still check it. Thankfully there's still a way to look at that, but that's kind of annoying. And Steam, it's been that way for like almost a week and Steam's not fixing it. I don't know what's going on. Either way, I thought this would be interesting. It looks interesting. So far the music is interesting. It's kind of loud, but we'll see what it has to offer, you know? I like the idea. You must be the new candidate. I don't recognize your face, and yet there's something strangely familiar about you. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. Nonetheless, let us begin. As you're likely already aware, opportunities such as this are exceedingly rare. To assume the mantle of Grim Reaper is not a trivial matter. Though personally, I've always preferred the term Ferryman. It's a role that grants certain privileges, alongside responsibilities few souls are capable of carrying. Therefore, I cannot make a fully informed decision based solely upon your CV. Today, you will participate in more practical evaluation. You'll be entrusted with the fate of 10 individuals recently claimed by death. You may question them before delivering your judgment, but understand this carefully. Death does not strip a soul of what it once was. The dead may still lie, deflect, justify, or fail to understand themselves entirely. You'll only be permitted to ask 3 questions to each soul. In the current era, the dead arrive faster than we can even comfortably manage. A ferryman must judge swiftly and judge well. Your performance here will determine whether you're suitable for this role. Before you depart, there's one final thing you should understand. Regardless of the outcome, you will not be leaving this place. Best of luck. Oh! You can't just say that! So, I'm the answer for it now. Good. Okay, so this is 1 out of 10. I'm Thomas Hale, infantry of the Western Front. I did what the others could not. They were broken, drowning in their own blood, begging or worse. Silent. I gave them peace. Quick, clean, no screams, no waiting for the rot to take them. You call it killing, I call it mercy. Tell me, would you have left them there? Were you afraid of becoming a killer? I was already a killer. The battlefield makes that decision for you. This was different, quieter. I told myself it was kinder. I needed it to be kinder. Okay. How did you choose who would die? You can tell. The wounds, the blood, the smell of it. Some were already gone, in all but name. Others, perhaps not. But waiting would not have saved them. It would have only stretched the end. Okay. I can only ask 3, I think. What do you feel about it now? I remember the quiet after. Not peace, just absence. I still hear them sometimes, before the silence. I cannot tell if I spared them or myself. I think that he feels guilt about it. It's clear that he feels guilt, and it's clear that it's not something that he wanted to do. So, I'll do that. Then you understand. I was not cruel, only willing. Someone had to bear it. They look at the act, not the weight of it. I carried that weight so they would not have to. If that's a sin, then it's one I accept, but I will not call it wrong. Oh, this is a new person. So, this is where I answer for it. I'm Edric Van, gate guard of Brindlewatch. I held that post for 11 years. Never faltered, not once, until that night. I closed my eyes just for a moment. Or so I thought. When I woke, the gates were open. Fire in the streets, screams. I remember the smell most. Tell me, does one moment undo a lifetime? Alright. Why are you so exhausted? Double shifts, fewer men each season, more unrest in the roads. I've been awake near 2 days. It was not unusual, just worse than most nights. I thought I could endure it, as I always had. Do you blame yourself? Yes, others may share it perhaps, the men who came, the ones who planned it, but the gate was mine. It was my eyes that closed. That's enough. Have you ever failed your duty before? No, that's what haunts me. I was steady, reliable. Others slipped, not me. I took pride in that. Perhaps too much. It made me believe I could not fail. I think he made a mistake. A bad mistake that caused people to die, but I mean it was a mistake nonetheless. I see. Then that's your judgment. I will not refuse it. But I cannot say it sits right with me. What happened that night does not fade so easily. If I'm on the worthy, I will carry it still. I doubt I will ever set it down. Perhaps that's how it should be. Hopefully I'm getting the vibe of this right, because, it seems like, so far, it's people who had to do what they had to do, or people who made a mistake. Like, I don't think that he deserves to go to hell for falling asleep, you know? Because he's working a double shift, you know? That seems really fucked up. So, it comes to this. I'm Lysa Marrow, healer of Durnfield. When the sickness came, it took us faster than we could bury. I worked until my hands shook and my eyes failed me. There was never enough. Not herbs, not time, not hope. So I chose, quietly, carefully. I saved who I could. The rest, I let slip away. Tell me, what would you have done? So you chose who would live and die? How did you decide who to save? You learned to see it. Strength in the breath, clarity in the eyes, some had a chance, others less so. And after a while, it became difficult to waste precious hours on those who had spent their lives looking down at the rest of us. Oh, so she holds like a personal grudge against some of these people, and she's trying to justify not healing them. Did you try to treat everyone equally? At first, I tried. It did not last. Equality is a luxury when everything's dying. I learned that quickly. There are moments, yes, when I knew effort spent on one would cost another. I would pass them by, not cruelly, just quietly, as if I had not seen. So, it seems like she's trying to justify herself and say that, oh, there's a lot of people sick, so I had to choose. But then she said that comment about people who look down on them. So it was clear that she wasn't just choosing them based on how sick they were. She was choosing them based on whether she thought that they were deserving of it. So that's your answer? You sit there, untouched by rot and screaming, and you judge me? I chose because no one else would. I carried it while others hid behind prayer and hope. And you dare condemn me for it. You would have done worse. You already are. At least I saved someone. Alright. So this is the reckoning. I'm Corvin Dull, baker of Grey Hollow. When the famine came, flour ran thin, water thinner still. People lined for hours, hollow-eyed, begging for anything. I stretched what I had, made it last. Loaves for many, not few. They ate, they lived. Some of them. Others fell ill. Tell me, is an empty stomach kinder? Dirty water in the bread. Oh, so he made people sick. Why did you use dirty water in the bread? Did you keep any clean supplies for yourself? Did you know people would get sick? Why not stop once people started dying? Because they kept coming. Because turning them away would have been the same as killing them myself. At least this way. Some walked away with something in their hands. So he made a whole bunch of people sick because he used dirty water in the bread instead of saying no. Why did you use dirty water in the bread? Because there was not enough of anything else. Flour stretches, water stretches, if you let it. It was not ideal, no. But hunger is worse than poor quality, or so I believed. It's hard. I want to ask, like, multiple of these. Do you regret what you did? Regret is not simple. I regret that it came to that. I regret that it worked as it did. But the choice itself? No. I do not think I could have done it differently. Okay, so it seemed like he was trying to feed the needy, and the water he was using was contaminated, and he knew it was contaminated, and he still kept feeding people. Instead of letting them starve, he killed them a different way. This is hard. It's like he did knowingly make people sick, but he also claims that he was trying to feed them, and an empty belly would be worse. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit more. There we go. Very good. This is a difficult one. This is a difficult one. Because he could be lying about his reasons on why he was actually using the dirty water. All you have to do to make water not dirty is to boil it, unless it's like contaminated with something else. And he knew it was contaminated, and he still kept giving it to people. Was he really trying to feed the hungry? Or was he just trying to look like a saint? I don't know if this is the right choice, but I'll do this because it's he was purposefully giving people stuff that would make them sick, and he knew that he was killing them. You condemn me for it? Fine, but answer me this. How many would you have fed with nothing? How many would you watch starve while you clung to your clean hands? I made a choice. A hard one, more than you have done. I think, at least I did not stand idle. Ah, so the final confession is mine. How fitting. I'm Father Haldren Voss, servant of the divine and keeper of many burdens. I listened where others could not, carry sins that were never mine to bear. People spoke, and I ensured their truths did not go to waste. Tell me, is knowledge not meant to serve a greater purpose? So what did you do? What did you do with the confessions you heard? Confessions are not merely words. There are truths laid bare. Some truths demand to remain hidden, others demand to be used. I simply ensured they reached where they were most effective. So you told people secrets? Did you ever betray someone's trust? Betrayal is a matter of perspective. If a man confesses wickedness, does it serve anyone to bury it? Or is it better that such truths find their way to those who can act upon them? Did you profit from what you knew? Compensation on occasion. Information has value, as is the burden of carrying it, but gold was never the purpose. Merely a consequence of necessity. This guy was taking confessions from people when they were most vulnerable, and then using that information to not only profit from it, but get what he wanted and tell people that information that was supposed to be between them and the person. It's evil. No, that's not possible! You presume to judge me! You who stand where I once stood, deciding the fate of others without bearing their burdens? I acted with purpose, with clarity you cannot hope to grasp. If this was your verdict, then it's not justice. It is failure. Yours, not mine. Okay. Right. I suppose there's no slipping past this. Name's Ivan Rook. I kept to the graveyards mostly. Quite work. No one to argue with you there. I took what was already left behind. Rings, trinkets, things the dead had no use for. Not all of it stayed with me. Some things I returned. When it felt right. Tell me, is it still theft if no one keeps it? Why take from the dead? Because they could not feel it. No fear, no anger. It seemed quieter that way. Easier to pretend it was not truly wrong if no one cried out for it. If you had gold, why live so poorly? I did not use it. Not properly. It was never about living well. The taking was enough. The having, less so. Huh. What did it feel like to take those things? Relief, then something else. A tightness. Like I had taken more than the object itself. I would hold it and think this was not mine. It never was. This is hard because he's obviously a thief and he's obviously doing something that's not right. But is thieving, just simple thieving, on occasion enough to send someone to hell, you know? Because the other people made really hard decisions, like other people were poisoning people basically, or, you know, taking the confessions of people that were vulnerable and using those for, you know, and that's the kind of stuff that deserves to put you in hell. But this guy's just thieving. I don't think thieving is enough to send someone to hell. You see it then. I never wanted to take from the living. I tried to keep it where it would do the least harm. It was not clean, I know that. I felt it every time. But if there's room for something like me, then perhaps I was not entirely lost. No, I speak. No, not right. Name, rel, cav. Head broke by me, mistake. Or no choice, life too. Heavy. I try to make quiet stop. All but words go broken. I know bad, just tired. You hear? Kinda. What happened to your head? Why did you do it? Were you alone in this? Did you want to live? Did anyone try to help you? What happened? I hit self, or at least let it happen. Hard to say. Had no right after. Why'd you do it? Life, press, no stop, always no sleep, quiet, I want silence. What do you want now? Quiet, just quiet, no more thinking. No hurt, just still. So he hurt himself or tried to self-eliminate. I don't see any reason why that would make you go to hell. You let me rest, finally, no more, no noise, no hurt. I know wrong, but could not carry no more. Thanks for the quiet. Old man with lantern. Ah, the path is clear here, at least. I'm Sorrel Vaughn, keeper of the lantern. The forest fog swallows paths, and those who walk them. This light parts for it for a price. I guided many through, most even. But not all paths lead out. Tell me, does the guide bear the fate of every step taken behind him? What was the price of the lantern? A simple arrangement. Passage, in exchange for passions. The forest takes what's owed. I'm really ensured the terms were fulfilled. What does that mean? So I'm not sure I understand. Did the travelers trust you? Of course! A light in the dark is a comforting thing. People will follow it without question. It's human nature. So is he giving people to the forest? Or turning his back on people? I'm not really understanding. Did you choose who'd be lost? Choice is a generous word. Some lingered, some strayed, some followed too closely. The forest is subtle, does not need much encouragement. Yeah, so basically, as far as I can understand, he was making deals, and like people were trusting him to get him. People were trusting him to get them through the forest, and instead he was like leaving them behind, or I don't even know, giving them to whatever is in the forest. He doesn't seem like a very good dude. I think he was also trying to choose who lives and dies. So you draw the line there. Interesting. You'd walk blind then, calling it a virtue. I chose a path and saw it through without flinching. That's more than most can claim. If that condemns me, then so be it. But do not pretend your judgment's cleaner than my choices. Is that a kid? Oh, am I dead too? I thought it would hurt more. I'm Leo. I stayed near the battlefields. After fight, there's always things left behind. Coins, boots, food sometimes. The soldiers don't need them anymore. Some still move, though. Made noise. It's easier when they stop. Tell me, that was the right thing, wasn't it? Why not help them instead? Help? I don't know how. And if I wait, someone else takes what they have, or it's gone. You have to be fast. Okay. Did anyone teach you this? No, I just watched. Others did it too. Not always kids. You learn by seeing. Did you ever feel bad about it? Bad? No. I mean, it's just what you do there. No one said to stop. I mean, he's just a poor kid who's picking up what he can to survive. I mean, it's not really a great thing to do, but I don't think he deserves to go to hell for it. Oh, okay, so I did good? I thought so. No one ever said anything before. I just did what I had to do so I wouldn't be hungry. If that's enough, maybe I can stop now. That would be nice. Ah, so it comes at last. I'm Valandor, sculptor to houses now long gone. Age has a way of thinning even the strongest stone. Sight left me, or perhaps I surrendered it. No matter. I've seen more than most of my years. Stone still speaks. If one listens, tell me, is it wrong to reveal what's already waits beneath? Why do your statues resemble missing people? Do you harm those you sculpted? What did you sacrifice for your craft? Do you control what happens to them? Whoa! Why do your statues resemble missing people? People cling to resemblance because they wish to. Grief is eager for familiar faces. I admit some statues capture details I was never taught. A scar beneath the chin, a crooked finger. Small truths stone should not have known. What did you sacrifice for your craft? Years. My sight. Pieces of myself I can no longer name. Great works are not made through comfort, and some materials demand more than marble ever could. Do you control what happens to them? Control is an illusion artists tell themselves. I shape the stone. I prepare the stillness. But what settles inside afterward, that belongs to something else. I'm not really understanding. So, there are missing people and he controlled... Like, it's hinting that he controlled, or, like, whether he had something to do with those missing people, or maybe sacrificed them by making them marble? I don't really know. I don't think I have enough information for this one, to be honest. Because if he is actually sacrificing people, or controlling the fate of people by doing these statues, he obviously deserves to go to hell. But I don't know if that's... I mean, I guess that's what I'm picking up. I guess I'll do this and see, because that's what I'm picking up. That's what it seems like it's trying to tell me. I see. Perhaps it's time. I will not argue it. I've walked this path long enough to know where it leads. Whether you understand it or not matters little now. Some things endure judgment. Others simply outlast it. He looked upon the dead and saw suffering before sin. Even the cruel and the broken carried fragments of fear, grief, and regret within them. The old Reaper watches your judgment in silence, with it finally stepping aside and trusting its endless duty to you at last. Welcome back. Is that it? Oh. I assume the results of your previous evaluation proved unsatisfactory. Fortunately for you, another opportunity can still be arranged. Okay, so they didn't like how I did it? I'm so confused. I don't really understand this, to be honest. Like, just people who seem to be being evil, I sent to hell, and people who were innocent or didn't do something that was that harmful, I sent to heaven. Will these be the same ones? Do not assume death made them honest. I don't understand. So I can try again. Did they ask you to end their lives? Some begged, some could not speak at all. You learned to read it in their eyes, and the way they breathed and how they cling to nothing. Not all asked, but they all suffered. How do you feel about it now? I remember the quiet after, not peace, just absence. Okay. Did anyone try to stop you? One did, said I had no right. He tried to pull me away from a man who was barely breathing. I remember his face more clearly than the others. I don't know if he lived. Okay, so apparently I did something wrong last time. And I guess... See, this guy did kill people, but my idea was that he was taking out opponents that were too far gone, and you know, but I guess choosing who lives and dies is not his choice, so maybe I'll choose to send him to hell. So you would have let them suffer, left them choking on blood and dirt while you stood aside, calling it virtue. You judged from comfort, from distance. You know nothing of it, nothing. Still, I know what I was doing. I felt it every time. If this is the cost of that mercy, then so be it. I don't know, I'm just trying to see what happens. You try to make it right afterwards? I tried to hold the inner square, gather who I could, push back what remained. It was not enough. When it ended, there was very little left to protect. What happened when you woke up? Smoke, heat, the gate ajar. I remember stumbling, not understanding at first. Then the noise, people running, shouting. By the time I took up my spear, it was already lost. Did anyone warn you about the danger? Rumors mostly. Bandits growing bold, movement in the hills, nothing certain. Nothing that would justify abandoning the post or calling alarm without cause. I still think he deserves to go to heaven, to be honest. Do you believe you did the right thing? I believe I did what was needed. This is not the same as right. I'm not certain these words belong together anymore. Who'd you save first? Those who could recover. Children, workers, people the town truly depended on. The nobles arrived with guards and demands. As though the plague cared for titles. Okay. See, the problem with this person is they're, like, one of the comments they made it seem like they were choosing who lived and died based on spite. And they were trying to convince us they choose who lived and died based on something else, you know? And they said that they refused someone who could live. I still think they deserve to go. Let me be honest with you. This is the baker. Who did you choose to feed first? Those who waited longest, those who would not leave. It seems fair, though fairness is a strange thing when everyone's desperate. Did you keep any clean supplies for yourself? A baker must remain standing, must he not? If I fall, there's no bread at all. I took what I needed to continue working, no more than that. Do you regret what you did? Okay. I'll try to do things differently because I want to see if I can pass this. You see it as it. There was no clean choice, only less cruel ones. I fed them more than would have eaten otherwise. If someone fell, then that was the cost of keeping the rest standing. I'll not pretend it was pure, but it was necessary. Yeah, you deserve to go to hell. Do you believe you acted under divine will? I do believe I acted in alignment with what was needed. Divine will is not always gentle. It requires no. How did you decide what secret matters? Patterns reveal themselves. Repeated sins, dangerous intent, influence over others. Some souls carry more weight than others. It would have been irresponsible not to recognize that. Guilt is for those uncertain of the path. I reflected certainly that that was a luxury I could not afford. Was this guy... He didn't say that it was anyone, like, dangerous. I don't know. I'll still take him now. So this guy took some stuff. Did you try to stop yourself? I tried. Left the graves alone for days, sometimes weeks, but the thought lingers. It sits in your hands even when they're empty. Eventually you go back. Okay, I chose that one. Did you ever steal from the living? No, never. I told myself that was the line. I still don't think he deserves to go to hell for stealing a little bit. What do you want? Anyone try to help you? Okay, try. Words, prayers, fix, no change. Head. Okay. Did you want to live? Sometimes, yes. Small bits, but mostly no. Yeah. Okay. Did you ever try to resist the deal? No, no sort of bargain with such thing. Expect to walk away unchanged. Why did you need the lantern? There are places beyond the fog that cannot be reached otherwise. Trades, knowledge, opportunity. Yeah, so he's getting rid of people for opportunity. You're still going to hell, dude. Yeah, shut up. And this is a kid. What do you want in life? Eat, stay warm, maybe somewhere safe. Not near the fighting if I could help it. Why not help them? Help? I don't know how. Okay, yeah, I did that one already. Did you know the soldiers were alive? Okay. I still think he deserves to go to heaven. They worship something unusual? Worship? No, not in the way the temples mean it. There are older things than the gods. Patient things. Things that admire permanence. He's making statues that are like sacrificing people, but he doesn't really know what's going on, but he kind of does. I don't know, this one's confusing. I don't know. I really don't know what. Okay. Okay, I don't. I'm gonna leave it here because I don't really know what the game wants from me, to be honest. Let's turn this up a little bit. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm not sure if I have to get every single one right. And it doesn't really tell me what I did wrong either. So I'm gonna leave this here and I'll see if I can do more later possibly. Actually, let me turn this deck down so I can talk. Yeah. This was, let me check out the game name again. The Ferryman's Trial. I did really like the idea of this. I like the concept of this. I just wish maybe we had a little bit more details. I know you can only ask 3 questions, but some of them are so ambiguous that you have no idea like what they mean or if they're lying or anything like that. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell with the amount of information you have. This game is really cool and interesting, and I do really like this kind of game. I do like going deep into this kind of stuff. It's like, what's wrong, what's right, and what deserves, you know, this and that. But the problem with this is you are trying to do what you do best, and I thought that probably at one point I got a majority of them right? So even if you get a majority of them right, you don't get all of them right. You still fail. And it's just really confusing. I'm not sure what the game wants of me. I'm not sure which ones I got wrong. There's no feedback to tell me what is going on. So that's kind of my problem with the game, is that this is all a matter of opinion. This is just a matter of, you know, doing what you think is right and trying your best. And I did it twice and I still am getting it wrong. So I just don't really know what the game wants of me, and I don't really know, like, some of them just don't have enough details to give me an accurate picture. And the game is not giving me any feedback on what I'm doing wrong. So I wish it was kind of explained better what I'm supposed to be doing. Or, you know, because it's, you know, I'm either giving people the benefit of the doubt even though I know they're lying, or I'm doing what I think is right, and it seems like neither are the right option. So I'm not sure if you have to get the majority or you have to get every single one right. But it is a little annoying that you kind of do what you... I did basically the opposite I did the first time, except for the ones I really believed, and it still failed me. So yeah, I'd kind of like a game that gives more feedback on what I'm doing wrong, or at least some hints or more information about the situation. Because I don't have enough to go off of on some of them. It's like the marble guy. You know? He makes statues. And he worships something older than gods. Okay, does that mean he's sacrificing people? Or, you know... Is he creating the missing people by making the statues? Or are the people already missing before? It's just there's not enough information. Yeah. I really like this, but honestly, especially for like, it's not even $1, this game. It is short, but because I played it twice and it's only 30 minutes in. But in my opinion, I really wish that this had more information, and I wish that this told me more about what I'm supposed to be doing. Like whether I'm supposed to get the majority right, or whether I have to get them all right, or, you know, more information about each of the people and their intentions, or maybe more hints about their intentions. It just doesn't feel, it feels like I'm going in completely blind. They're like, hey, use your judgment. I use my judgment, and they're like, no, your judgment's wrong. So, you know, that's the kind of frustrating thing about this, but I really like the concept. I really like the idea of this, and honestly, I hope they make a second game of this, or something similar, or they, I guess, make more of it, or change the game to be longer, change the game to actually tell you what's going on, to actually give you some premise of what you're supposed to be doing. because I keep failing it for some reason, even though I'm trying my best. Yeah, I don't really understand. So that's about it. If you like this video, then go ahead and give me a like and subscribe. If you want to, I'm not making you, but I'd appreciate it. I give you the good, bad, and ugly, even the horror. Yeah, this is an actual game, by the way. It's not a demo. It's, let me see. It's 89 cents right now. It's usually 99 cents. But, yeah. That's my opinion on it. I really, really like the style of it, though. Yeah, that's about it. If the dev ends up seeing this, then I hope that you have maybe some answers for me on why I keep failing this and what I'm supposed to do, because I don't know. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye!